Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today's video is about answering the big question. Ta-da! How do I find my drawing style? Right? Like everybody is asking this question. Before we start this video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. We post a new video every week about Procreate drawings, tutorials, free brushes and stuff. So let's get to it. So what I did in this video, I took a very simple object, a tomato, and I turned it into a different drawing style, the most common ones around, by using very simple tips and tricks to implement or to turn it into the drawing style I'm looking for. And if you're gonna follow these steps, I believe you're gonna be able to achieve the drawing style you're looking for. Look at how different they are, but they are all tomato. So we're gonna start with the abstract one. You see, what is so special about this style? What are the key features? If we use them, we're gonna be able to achieve that finish. If you notice, we used, or you can use, dry brushes. This is number one thing. Remember back days when people used to do classic art, mostly oil painting, and this is where the whole abstract school started. Mostly dry brushes, especially in Procreate. I mean, you can use any other brushes, but if you wanna get the finished look of the abstract oil painting, you need to use the dry brushes. If you notice as well, there are no lines around. You know, when we sketch something and sometimes we add the around shape lines, we don't do this in this style. The multicolors, like I even use purple. Is there purple in a tomato? No, but it's an abstract, right? You get to use whatever colors you want. It doesn't have to be red or green, because this is what the tomato looks like, red or green, right? The shape doesn't have to be a perfectly circle or perfectly looks like a tomato. It doesn't have to. It's an abstract. And, which is, to be honest, the most important thing, in every single drawing style is the shadow and light. The way you implement them gonna give you the finished look or the final look of every drawing style. Here we use the classic techniques. And by what I mean by that is just a brushes, a track, and that's it. It doesn't have to be perfect. See, I used here a light one, although there is no light here. It's a bottom, it's supposed to be shadow if we're gonna follow the rules, let's say, to implement a perfect shape. But it doesn't matter. Again, it's an abstract. You can use darker colors on the top and light colors on the bottom or in the middle or whatever. It doesn't matter. So that's the abstract style. Let's go to the next one. Sticker. Who doesn't love stickers? Everybody loves stickers, and to be honest, it's part of a lot of people's business. Stickers. What makes your drawing looks like a sticker? So we use smooth brushes, and I'm gonna talk here in this tutorial about all basic stuff that's already in Procreate. You don't have to go and purchase fancy things, like a monoline. Look at how smooth the edges are. The shape is geometric. It's a perfectly circle or any other shape, but it has to be geometric. It has to be perfect, not like with the previous style. And it has to be a closed shape, right? The technique we use to color is not like by brushes to tracks. We drag and fill. The features or the elements related to this tomato, like the legs, the hands, the face, the hair, or whatever, they are very basic, mostly cartoony, to be honest. Anyone can do that. The shadow we used is very strong and basic as well. It's just a line on the edge. It's just a line on the edge that's going to represent the light. A line on the edge is going to represent the shadow. It doesn't have to be very perfect, but you need to put them in the right place. The feature, and that's why I make it bigger than the other ones. The features that's gonna make it look like a sticker is the white stroke, that's the stroke that's gonna be surrounding your shape or your drawing. That what makes it a sticker. Okay, now let's go to another drawing style, a cartoon. No, so cute. This one you can turn it into sticker, to be honest. It's exactly the same stuff, exactly the same things, the same steps you're gonna follow to implement it, except we didn't surround it with a white stroke. If you surround it with a white stroke without the shadow in the bottom, because it's gonna look odd, the shadow in the bottom, if you take it out and you're gonna surround it with a white stroke, you're gonna have your sticker. If you take it out, there's a white stroke, and you're gonna put back the shadow beneath it, now you have a cartoony face. So cute. The other one is an anime character. The previous one was a cartoon character, now we have an anime character. What do I mean by anime character? You know, like Walt Disney or these kind of movies. So what makes an anime character an anime character? What turns your drawing into an anime character? I used round smooth brushes because I want smooth edges that's gonna blend into background. I don't want sharp edges. And in this case we use the airbrushes. They are our favorite. I believe everybody's favorite, right? Another technique I added here that we don't use in the previous styles, which is the smudging and blending technique. It's not all red. Yes, maybe I drugged and filled the whole color, but I added another colors using the airbrushes, but I wanted to blend all these colors because by the end I want to get some kind of like an alive 3D shape. So this smudging and blending is your friend to achieve an anime character. The lighting technique, it's not simple. It's not just like one stroke around one of the edges or one of the sides and that's it, end of the story. No, it has to be a kind of advanced. You need to take in your consideration what is supposed to implement, the light or the shadow, because that's gonna give, look at the eyes for example, it's kind of pop out to you. It's gonna give you 3D shape. It's like it appears on top of the body. It's not a surface, right? And that's another feature about an anime character is the 3D standout appearance. By achieving these techniques, you're gonna have it. The face, the body features, they are not basic like the cartoony character. They are kind of expressive face and body features. They don't have to be realistic. They are cartoony, to be honest, basically. But you're gonna add some expressive to it. You're gonna implement all these techniques to make it look like a 3D, to make it look like an anime character. And this is how we achieve the anime character. The sketch, one of the classic drawing schools, is basically a sketch, right? So you don't have to be fancy with it. You're just gonna sketch the shape you want using one of the basic brushes. We have a set in Procreate of sketching brushes. My favorite one is P6 pencil. All lighting and shadowing and features or everything else, they're just basically implemented or been done using the same sketch brush. I don't need to go fancy and use another advanced brushes. And the shape, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be closed. It doesn't have to be geometric. Whatever. Like even look at the lines. They are not close together. They just like you're gonna sketch and you go to the next piece. You're gonna sketch. You're gonna go to the next piece. The shadow as well is just like, and that's it. Right? So that's the sketch style. The watercolor style. I didn't mention something here, but I want to talk about it first. One of the bonus to achieve the watercolor style is by adding a background texture like this one. They're available anywhere. Just Google or try to find some free background textures that looks like a paper, watercolor paper, and you can add it as a layer behind your drawing when you finish. So what makes a watercolor drawing is basically the brush, right? A watercolor brushes. There are a bunch of free watercolor brushes around. You don't have to go buy fancy ones. Unfortunately, they are not building into Procreate. You have to download them and add them to your program. Sorry about that. My cat looks like into watercolor drawing. Okay, let's continue. The other thing that is a really special thing about achieving a watercolor drawing is light colors. You don't have to use thick multi layers of colors. You're just gonna like maybe one stroke, one time layer. It's light, it's smooth, it's beautiful. This is what makes watercolor special, because it's like the main component in these brushes or in these colors is water. So that's why you need to use light colors or light layers, less layers than the other drawings. And it could be open shape, it could be closed, it doesn't really matter. Here I made it looks like perfect and closed, but you don't really have to. And if you notice other artists when they draw their own watercolor stuff, they just leave it open. Even the brush, it doesn't look clean and perfect. I mean, it's up to you. To me, I cleaned it out because you know how messy the watercolor brush is, but I cleaned it out. I like it like this. There is no lines surrounding the shape. It's preferable. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes when people like, and I see it in big drawings like buildings, cities, when they do watercolor stuff, it's preferred to have lines to give it another strong appearance. But if you're doing or working on simple shape, you don't have to add it. And that's a part of the magic of the watercolors as well. It doesn't have lines surrounding the shape. You're gonna use smudging and blending here as well. It's up to you. Not too much. Don't do too much because you're gonna lose the light color feature here. So just make sure to keep it basic whenever needed. And we use classic techniques to create light and shadow. What does that mean? Exactly like the abstract one. Classic techniques means the same watercolor brush. You're just gonna like maybe bring down the opacity or choose a lighter color to implement the light or the shadow with the darker color, of course, the shadow. Now let's get to the other one. Comics. Beautiful, strong appearance, right? It tells a story. That's what it's about comics. It's strong lines, strong features, strong colors, soft edges, using because you don't want to part edges, you want like a smooth finish around the shape. There are again bunch of free comic brushes. You can download them and add them. I mean, you can use them on a line if you want, but personally I prefer to go with some kind of professional comic brushes. They are around, they are free, just Google them. The shape is enclosed, of course, it has to be closed shape. You can grab and fill because it's easier. You don't have to smudge on a blend. The shape is going to stand by itself unless you are working on a very complicated piece. What is so special about comic is the features of the face or the body. They are expressive, very expressive, okay? It tells you a story. There is an action implemented in the story, okay? And the details are added using the black or the dark color, the same one you used to achieve the lines. Look at this. By adding these small strokes, by adding these small details, you're going to implement the comic style. The final one of my favorites. I don't know, maybe because like I used to draw using oil and acrylic paintings and canvas. That's why I'm still into it. But anyhow, Procreate is really helping with anything realistic, and you can achieve it in a small period of time. It looks like a tomato, and actually it's a yummy one, right? I'm very proud of it. Anyhow, so if you're into realistic drawings like myself, you can smoothly achieve them by following those steps. You need smooth brushes like airbrushes. Airbrushes is our friend, to be honest. Any airbrush is our friend in most of the styles, drawing styles. The key feature here is the advanced lighting and shadowing details, like this one. Like this one. See? That's what is going to give your shape the realistic finish and the 3D appearance. The other key feature is it's an enclosed shape, because I'm not talking about something dreamy, I'm not talking about watercolors, I'm not talking about abstract. The shape has to be exactly the same shape, realistic, that you are trying to achieve. So it has to be enclosed. It has to be a closed shape. The other key feature here is smudging and blending. It's very preferable. This is what is exactly going to give you this look, the 3D look, where you see darker areas, lighter areas. The light is there, and here the shadow is in the bottom, but it doesn't really look like a shadow. It looks like part of the tomato, but it's actually a shadow. And the Gaussian blur is your friend. I'm not sure if you watched my previous video when I draw a realistic chess piece on board. I used a lot of Gaussian blur. One of the techniques that's going to give you the finished look of any realistic drawing mostly is the Gaussian blur. You can simply add the shadowing or the lighting to any area, and then you're going to go to the Gaussian blur and control it. This is one of the you can achieve smudging as well to your other colors, by the way. And if you ever wondered and you wanted another video about it, just let me know and leave it in the comments, and I can walk you through the whole process. So here you go. We have all these beautiful tomatoes implemented using different key features that's gonna lead you by the end to achieve one of these drawing styles, the most common ones around. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you need a tutorial for each one of them. Let me know if you have other suggestions. Maybe we can create another video about them. And I hope by achieving these key features, you're gonna be able to find your own drawing style. Thank you very much for watching.